In this module, we're gonna talk about game mechanics. Game mechanics are invisible, but they are everywhere. What is game mechanics? For example, a goal. Goal is a game mechanic. Any game has a goal. Also in life, we also have different goals. What else we have? Rules. Rules is a very powerful ancient game mechanic. Any game has rules, and in life also we follow different rules, and nature follow different rules. What else we have? We have points, right? Numbers. Without scores and points, it's gonna be boring to play, right? So in games, we see a lot of different numbers and points, and also, for example, if you use tracker, steps, tracker, all this, it's all about points. Polls, we use numbers. It's a game mechanic of points, on numbers. Also, we have a game mechanic of tournaments, reward, and so on. So we can say that any game, let me show you this example. Any game is a system of game mechanics. For example, this is complete game. This pyramid represents complete, beautiful, interesting, fun game. And we can see that this game has goals, rules, points, reward, tournament, and so on. So to build a beautiful game, we need to add different game mechanics. That's it. It's like we build a house. When we combine different game mechanics in a system, something beautiful happening. This is what we're gonna discuss in this module. It's very important to understand because game mechanics are everywhere. We all use game mechanics. And what I discovered, it's not about an exercise. It's about deep understanding why this exercise is good for you. Basically, if you want to practice gamification and develop your mind in education and sport, in business, deep understanding is very important. Let's go deeper. In my book, I discuss and discover all these things, step by step in the investigation kind of like journey. The same we're gonna do here, and I'm gonna add AI as a companion. Explain me this. So basically, how game mechanics work together. The key insight is that individual mechanics are less important than how they combine into system. So basically, the author used football as example. For example, we take a football. Rules. Any football game has rules. Create structure. Defined field. No hands except goalkeeper, or if it's a soccer or football, if it's United States, in other rules. Goals provide direction. We need to win opponent and so on. Score more than opponent. Points. It's a game mechanic. Track progress. Tournaments. Add long-term meaning. Community. Social game mechanic, and so on. And when I discovered this, I realized something very interesting. Remove any single element and the magic starts to fade. No scoring system, no way to win. No fans, the atmosphere dies. So I discovered that any game is a combination of game mechanic. Any game. And interesting phenomenon that if we remove at least one game mechanic, the whole magic starts to fade. And I'm gonna share my experience how I started to use this insight in my real life. And this is huge. Basically, we see it's like metaphor of a car. You have a beautiful car, all system in place, all modules in place. You have wheels, we have all infrastructure, right? Wire, engine, but you missed a battery. That's it. you don't need a car without a battery. You need a whole system works together. Then something happen, right? So it's so if you remove at least anything, like remove points, it's gonna ruin the game. Remove goal, of course, rules, no game. Tournaments, social game mechanic, referee, at least one, remove at least one element, whole system gonna broke down. And you can see this when COVID was when it was COVID. Remove social game mechanic. That's it. It's not so fun to play for players, and sport games wasn't so exciting anymore. And the same way it works in another direction. For example, you just play with games with people, just rules and goals. But then you add points. Wow, it's more interesting. Then you add tournament. Then you add people watching, and it's gonna be more and more exciting. And why it's important? I use this principle in business. When I built my company, Octopus Engage, I built a sales system based on this understanding. And a sales system, basically, I knew that, wow, I have this phenomenon of, cohesive system. Phenomenon of, I call the perfect system, right? So it's when you add more elements, something starts to emerge bigger than just these elements. And I started to use in sales. For example, when I work in a moving industry, we built websites and CRM for moving industry. And when I started to apply this knowledge, I knew that we need to add more elements and create cohesive system. And that's why I focus on websites, a web form, client page for clients. So it's created cohesive system where each element is perfect. Show you, for example, if I show you an example how I apply this knowledge in my business. So, for example, any game has lots of elements, and we need to create a cohesive system. And I test lots of different games. Even if it's beautiful game, in one element is missing, the guys launched a beautiful game, but they didn't have tournaments. That's it. It was boring to play. You win the single player game, and then it's like that's it. And after I realized this, I started to build a company. I built a company, Octopus Engage. We built software for moving companies, and basically I started to build this with this idea, with this understanding. So it was I was aware of this and started to think, okay, we need to create a beautiful system, and we create beautiful website. It's the first element, beautiful website. Then we create beautiful web forms, right? So it's not just we create beautiful web forms with animation, right? If you want to impress client, we need to impress on each level. So the same as here. I was like, okay, we need to gamify this experience. Beautiful website, beautiful web form, because before, like, who cares about web form? But now I know that I need to create a cohesive system where each element is perfect. That's why we're like, okay, website is cool. Then we have a cool web form when it's easy, engaging, entertaining to submit a form. Cool, beautiful. So it's how I start to apply this knowledge in my business. And when people submit the form, they're already kind of impressed of this gamification. It's gamification. It's kind of hidden, but it's a gamification, right? So, and then what's happened next? Before, other companies, when they click proceed to view a quote, they just thank you very much, we will call you back. I was like, no, let's continue. Let's add another element. And now we have this account page. Account page, it's a future of any sales system. So basically, it's a hero journey or customer journey, right? Other companies, like, we call you back, but we here was understanding, like, okay, let's add another game mechanic. And I start to think creatively and add more and more elements. Okay, let's add video. We need a video, right? So we need some gamification element to, explain how move size calculated, how quote is calculated, with fun. So you see, it's adding elements. We create beautiful designed engaging account page when people still with a company, and it's create better cohesive system, right? So remove this. That's it. It's not going to be so engaging, and when we launch it, it's actually increased conversion. The same with this idea. It's you adding elements, website, beautiful web form. Then you add an account page, and then you add more elements to make it more engaging. So this is based on this theory I create that I call the perfect system for moving companies, right? So we have these different elements. We have even we have a AI, not just AI, gamified AI. Look, what's in when you want to ask a question about your moving, you have this animation. Why I did this, right? Before I was like, who cares? But now I know that I need to add elements, so the magic starts to appear, right? If remove at least one element, that's it. It's something could broken. But when you add more and more and more, you have more engaging elements, and you have conversion increased. It's what we test. It's really working. But of course, you need to apply this in a beautiful way, right? So you see this when we build this account page CRM for moving companies. We see this. We have beautiful images. We have illustrations, part of the gamification. We have all these engagement tools, photos, and so on. So it is one of these techniques how I use gamification in work. It actually I was aware of this, and because of this knowledge, I created this system with beautiful website, web form, an account page, and these all elements with videos, photos, all together they create something more than just one element. And I test it, and we have a data. Yes, it's how it's happening. And I share also this concept of adding elements work in any game. If you build in a game or build a business, keep adding. For example, we build a website for company, checking conversion, and just changing one block or adding one block could increase conversion tremendously. The same like here. Like if you have this, we have this, but you don't have tournaments, that's it. Something could miss. But the same with websites or your business, you just add in one element, and then you have a spark. You have a big growth. This is a huge insight. Let's continue. So this is how you can use in business and this understanding. Let's continue to another insight. We're also gonna come back to this. It's huge. This is understanding this the perfect system. I call the concept of the perfect system. Right? We need to add elements, and something gonna click. In the game industry, they using this. They add more and more game mechanics, and after some time, that's it. Game start to be interesting. Let's continue beyond games, right? So now we have this kind of lens. Now we can see world through the perspective of game mechanics, rules, goals, points, tournaments, community, game master, referee, and I started to look through this perspective on everything in our life. And what I discovered that so I started to recognize these patterns everywhere. For example, what is a marathon? Marathon, it's not just run 42 kilometers. No, it's a game system with rules, social elements, rewards. It's prestigious, right? Status also. And this transforms running into personal rite of passage. So basically, a marathon is not just, it's a gamification. It's a system of game mechanics. If you remove at least one game mechanic, nobody gonna care about marathon. And then we have video games, like League of Legends became global phenomenon, or Dota, not just because of good gameplay, but because of the build complete system around the core game. They build tournaments, they build rankings, they build prizes, they build community. This is what we're talking about, right? So I had this experience. The core game is beautiful, but they miss in tournaments. That's it. It's not so cool anymore, and they lose in engagement. They lose in fun. And there's many games right now that's very engaging because they add in tournaments, they add in ranking, prizes, and add more and more game mechanics. And when system in place, that's it. It's become even addicted. In the bigger picture, so it's the bigger picture that isn't limited about games and sports. Our motivation in life itself might come from similar system of mechanics. So we're gonna start to see that the goals we set, rules we follow, rewards we seek, and communities we're part of. So basically, understanding this language of game mechanics becomes a tool for designing more engaging experience in any domain. Whether this education, work, personal development, or building products that people actually want to use. So yes, this is the huge. Right now, we're gonna learn how to see life through the perspective of game mechanics. And I showed you an example of how I apply this in my work, how I built not just website, not just CRM, I built sales system, perfect sales system when each element work together. And it's going to be future of sales in the sales, because companies spend lots of money to attract clients, and we want to engage them and hold them as long as we can. And this knowledge helps to create beautifully designed sales systems. Also, we're going to talk about education. Yes, because of this, I discovered the Poros method, then Poros Academy. What is Poros Academy? Also is interesting. It's amazing for personal development, and also understanding maybe if you feel not motivated in your life. It's of course it's lots of reasons could be, but the main idea is that maybe you're missing some game mechanics, and we're gonna discover what game mechanics. Let's continue our investigation. So in this step, we discover that game mechanics are everywhere. It's huge. Any game, it's a combination of game mechanics. Yes. Yeah. So synergy phenomenon of game mechanics. This is huge. Remove at least one. That's it. Yeah. So basically, the power of game system. When you add more and more and more elements, it's create hidden power, right? A car. Add, and then whole system starts to work. Remove at least the battery, that's it. So this is the main insight, the power of system of game mechanic. I show you an example in my work, and it's also give me understanding that if sometimes I see that conversion is not good, I'm looking to add something element. We still kind of let's keep adding until something click. Okay, so let's move on to next part, game mechanics in life. So I'm gonna talk on this, and then we're gonna explain in bullet points. Actually, it could be like just, yeah. So let's continue our investigation. Game mechanics in life. I started to notice game mechanics everywhere, and yeah. So basically, and we're gonna talk about that I discovered something very interesting. So what is system, right? System, especially we talk about education, for example. Why we call educational system? Education a system, right? Because a system is basically interconnected elements forming a unified whole. This is the idea, right? It's a system. And I discovered that any education, it's basically a system of game mechanics, right? It's, for example, educational system. We have what kind of game mechanics? We have levels, right? Students progress through stages, grades, courses. We have points, rewards, game master. Game master, it's also from Latin means school teacher. It's the same. It's a game mechanics. Basically, the function of game mechanics to make sure that players follow rules. In football and any other sport, it's referee, right? We have bosses, different exams. We have community, social game mechanics. We have progress tracking, reports cards, digital journals, charts, and so on. Rules, of course, reminders, homework, bells, parents, alerts, reminders about we need to come back to school. Ambition, the desire for a good education and prestigious career. We have ambition, we have status, we have a goal, right? So it's this is system of a system educational system. It's a system of game mechanics, and it's very important to understand for example how game mechanics are powerful. It's very important to understand for teachers in schools, because for example when I was in school, teachers didn't understand this power, and they use points and game mechanics to punish kids, right? So it was punishment tool, and that's why they lose motivation, they kill motivation. It just because it wasn't aware, it just didn't know. Now we know with this new understanding. And the same idea with previous understanding, that remove grades and you will see that motivation could fade away. You see, grades and points, for example, could be also changed, or could be evolution of grades. Before was grades like 1 2 3 4 5 or ABC, but for example I discovered that in Post Academy grades change. We use points, for example step counts, experience level, right? So you always see that you grow it, right? So it could be evolution of understanding how we can use grades. Remove exams, and also achievement could disappear, right? Remove teachers, right? So how people gonna learn, right? And who gonna control that, how people follow the rules, and so on. So it's very cohesive system. So this is main understanding. Education is a game system. Yes, it's this is what I discovered. It's a game system with interconnected game mechanics that work together. Yeah, so let's continue. For example, we have a phenomenon that can you force someone to play? The main idea that usually to be effective, if you want your game be more effective, educational game be more effective, it should be free will. But the point, we have an example how kids push to play the game, educational game. They pushed, and it's fine. This works, right? People, kids are learning, but the point is it's not effective, right? So yes, we can push to play a game. You see, that children are essentially forced to play educational game, and it still works, but it could be improved. This main idea is about games, because right now we understand how we can do it more wise, I guess. How be aware of this power of game mechanics. Yeah, let's continue. Game mechanics in our lives, right? So we start to notice that game mechanics in sport and of course in games, but also in our life. For example, corporate world, career is a game. We have levels, we have points, KPI, rewards, bonuses, promotion, ranking. It's in a YouTube, in any business, followers, it's numbers, it's all game mechanics. Sales, the same, race for results. We have a goal, we have points, we have reward, commission, bonuses, ranking, leaderboards. It's also part of the game mechanics, and leaderboards and rankings originate from video games original, right? So it's and they create excitement, the desire to be first. It's also basically some people, companies just add one element. And when I was practicing gamification with my team, I was adding one element, and it didn't work because you see, sometimes you need to create a cohesive system. It's not just about adding ranking. It's about adding ranking. It's about having also, coach who can who check, if the players follow the rules, right? You need to have rewards, right? If you have a good leaderboards, you have a good rewards. You have so basically you need to create a good cohesive system to really engage. If you want really effective results. And we have lots of some big companies using gamification, like McDonald's. Like you can see gamification in Starbucks, like they simple gamification, like if you or Nero Cafe, if you drink coffee, they have like check like how many, and every 10 or whatever you ate, you have a free coffee, you get points. They're using this because it works, right? It's in the previous modules we discussed that, so you just need time. Sometimes you just gain points, and after some time, oh cool, I can get this free coffee. It's cool, and you start to kind of get in the game. The game starts to kind of pull you, and actually it works because this is why big companies using it. And it's I saw also some gamification elements in a milk, almond milk. Then when you put the phone and they have a game, you run in a truck in the near the almond trees. Why? Big company, why they using this? Because it's engagement. It's remembering our mind, remembering all these things. It's for example, when I built our sales system, I knew that it's not for people, it's for brains, unconscious. People like we used to be kids, and we're still kids in kind of in one way, and we like fun stuff. It's engaging. It's it creates good feeling, good emotion, and then unconsciously I'm gonna choose this almond milk just because it's gonna create this good emotion. It's, you see, when we take some specific person, it might not work, but in system and statistics, yes, this is what's happening. Of course, I discovered that project management, all project management games like Kanbans, it's also it's games based on different goal mechanics, right? Game mechanics. We have a goal, we have a specific rules to follow. Kanban or sprint, it's a project management games with specific rules, specific levels, milestones, phases, sprints. You have a Gantt chart, agile sprints. It's a basically specific rules. Before I was thinking, what is project management? So complicated. No, it's just a game. And we have agile coach. It's a basically game master or referee who check if a team play the game properly. And I talked with a girl. She worked with in a big company. She has a good salary, but her motivation not salary, but to finish these Gantt points. She had to get a specific amount of points per week, and this was her motivation when I talked with her. She needs to fill these points. She didn't think about money, right? Because okay, she had a salary, I got it. But now every week you have these points, and agile coach that's showing this progress and create this kind of game elements to pull people into the game to increase motivation. Yes, it's huge. This is why project management they're using this. It's big companies using this. And I discovered that sometimes rules so important. I had a case where we use Kanban. Kanban, it's when you have basically 3 columns to do in process done, and in Kanban we have specific rules. You cannot move task to another column if its column has specific number of already tasks. And I was thinking, like, it doesn't matter, who cares, right? So, and then I realized after we launched made a release, and it was a lot of bugs, I discovered that developers didn't follow these rules. Basically, what's happened when you move a task to done, you have to, or in a test, you have to make sure that it's task in the test already accomplished, and people just ignore this rule. And what's happened? Lots of untested tasks go to released. That's why, and they're like, wow, it's so important. So basically, it's changing. If you have task, you should not add to this done. You have to help testers to test, and then finish your task. So just simple rule to follow. It's called maximum tasks per column. Like I had this huge moment, and I realized, that's why we need to follow rules. And the same with sprints and other techniques. Basically, it's a whole profession to teach teams and control teams how to follow these rules and make sure this game is working. So basically, agile sprints are mini games within a large game, and each one has a clear object, progress tracking, and so on, and the result. Let's continue. Fitness and health, playing for yourself. Yes, it's fitness and health. They're using game mechanics. They have goals. We have all this 10,000 steps tracking. We have points. We have visual. We have heart rates. We have rewards, achievement badges, or at least you complete like 5 days or 7 days in a row, not breaking chain, right? So it's the same understanding. We have social game mechanics, progress, activity graphs, streaks. The streaks, it's all kind of keeping us in a game. And interesting that it's not necessary, right? So for example, it's could work, but again, it depends on how you create a game. For example, I check different applications, have a Fitbit, and I know as a expert in gamification, I know that how to improve this. But it's sometimes it requires more work, and it's always a place to grow. But it's always, you can add more game mechanics, but eventually, yeah, this fitness and health, they're using it a lot, and it's give results. So maybe sometimes you're motivated to do the 10,000 steps, some days not, but eventually you kind of, it's, that it's cool, it works, it's better than nothing, I would say, like this. Then we have social media. It's the most addictive and the most powerful game. We have basically any social media, it's basically rules, send message, it could be just text, could be photo, could be video, and social game mechanic. That's it. We have people, social game mechanic, and we have the most powerful application like Instagram, TikTok, X, and so on. So and this is simple games, just rules, send, and social game mechanics. So for example, they have also then start to add more. They have likes, they have followers, they have status and verification, algorithms, engagement. So it's right now it's more and more game mechanics added to this platform. But in the beginning, it was just simple send message and social game mechanics. That's it, and it's already so powerful, and it's become more and more powerful. They add more and more game mechanics, and now it's become even more addicted. So yeah, now you see that game mechanics are very powerful, and the system of game mechanics is more powerful. And we have loyalty programs. Yes, it's all game mechanics. In medicine, health monitoring, heart rate, blood pressure, all of this, it's a game mechanics. It's a visual game mechanics. Treatment protocols, protocols also, it's rules, what needs to be done, right? So on. In science, the game of discovery, basically, right? We have rules, we have points, number of experiments. Actually, a number of experiments. Actually, in a science world, we have specific number of experiments need to be done to have a breakthrough. It's numbers. You have achievements, levels, goal, rules, and lots of rules there, and so on. So it's all, we all have. Games are everywhere, right? It's politics is a game. Relationship is a game. We have lots of games here. So it's this is important to understand. When I start to see it, like, wow, we live in a game reality. What is going on here? So basically, yeah, the power of game mechanics. So now we see that it's we have lots of examples that game mechanics are powerful. Let's go check with the AI. So basically, yes, we discuss education as a game system. Game mechanics exist everywhere. Systems are more powerful than individual mechanics, right? The magic comes from how they combine. Yes. For example, with my business, when we started to launch advertisement, and we missed at least one simple video, or we missed photos. That's it. No conversion. So it should be a whole system in place. We launched the same website, the same system for different companies with different photos. One photo is more engaging, one photo is not. That's it. You have a drop in conversion. Conversion, who don't know, it's basically it's a percentage of how many people really book with you or really buy from you. and this number show us like how really system works. Who basically convert to someone who convert to say convert from just visitor to client. So yeah, so just one photo could change lots of things. And especially it works in any business. It's small business, big business. It's bigger, of course. Bigger business, more difference. I read a blog post where big company, big store changed just letters from the bottom, from register to canteen, and it's increased sales on $300 million, just from register to canteen. Why? Because brains make decision. Like it's in the end of the day, brains is just register, too much work. I need to spend energy. Canteen, okay, easy. And I get to the shopping cart and buy. So yeah, let's continue. Education is a game system. Yes, so education is a game system. Have levels, points, rewards. So this is huge. Game mechanics is different life areas. Yes. Corporate world, sales, fitness, everywhere we have these game mechanics, medicine. So two key discoveries. Each mechanic shapes behavior, right? So it's goals gives meaning, rules provide clarity. So each game mechanics very powerful. It's already have some kind of meaning, and each game mechanic basically kind of play different role or play different function, let's say like this. Goals give meaning, rules provide clarity, points give visual understanding what's happening, and so on. Status is especially powerful. Status is a very old game mechanic, and it's you have lots of followers, people more willing to listen to you, right? So it's very powerful. And it changed how people receive and respond to you. That's why in presentations, sometimes people like say, this is most rewarded signed. Somebody introduced someone as to increase status, so other people perceive more intentionally, perceive deeper what speaker gonna say, right? Status is huge. Yes, and then synergy effect. Mechanics only reach full power when combined into system. Yes, and it's not just I add goal, add rules, and even I have like Fitbit. It's not enough. Sometimes you need more. Sometimes you need something missing. It's not just so easy to just when you create it, it's easy. We have a car, cool, but before we need to get to the car, right? In a abstract world of web development, sometimes you need to add a look for different mechanics. It's how I discovered the Portal method and Pros Academy. I discovered. Now I know it, but before I was like, okay, let's add this one, let's add this one. The same with sales system with my company. I didn't know that. I just let's add this one, let's add this one, let's add, and we would change something. We see conversion increase. Like more people booking. What? So yeah, it's synergy effect, and also remove one element, and the whole system gonna weakness. Also very important. Football works because of goals, rules, fans, tournaments, status together. The paradox: you can force people to play. Even through play should be you can play, but it's better that play should be voluntary. So sometimes in the companies, when people start to use game mechanics or project management system, people forced to play. That's why we need to kind of educate people and more education, understand why. So it's increase will to play. So it's going to be more voluntary. So it's going to be more effective. Because if a goalkeeper don't want to play, whole team gonna suffer. Adding game mechanics doesn't guarantee success. Sometimes creates frustration instead of engagement. Yes, so we need to be also very wise how we do it, right? It's not just create game, just drop anything. You can in your life put lots of game mechanics, and it's still gonna be frustrating for you. It's more than just that, right? So it needs to be beautifully created, beautifully designed. Right, I show you website in my company. Show you website, web form, and account page. but it's beautifully designed, right? It should be also visually appealing. We talk about how to execute it properly. It's also, it's need to be done properly. In the game industry, they do it very cool. Okay. So basically, understanding this language of game mechanics help design better experience in education, work, and personal growth, and also in games. If you're in the game industry, you know that you build your game and just keep adding game mechanics, and after some time, boom, something gonna click. In education, I'm gonna show you Pros Academy what I discovered. In the work, yes, game mechanics, add different game mechanics. Project management games, yes, it works, but it needs to be also that's why you need to be aware of this phenomenon, and then of course you need to take some time that's kind of pull yourself in the game, and then the game starts to work. So basically synergy. So basically the paradox of activation, we talk about it. Sometimes we need some time to game to kick in, and the paradox of activation also in previous modules I tried gamification, but it was frustration because I didn't have deep understanding. I had expectation about gamification. I had expectation that games should be entertaining, should be fun, it should be exciting. Now I start to track my progress. What's happened? Why is nothing happening? You see, this stereotype could destroy a whole experience. That's why right now you have deep understanding. It's more about developing your mind. It's an exercise. Yes, you add in the project management as a visual, as the we're gonna talk on the next level. You create basically educational system around your life. It's including that. It's also in business. All of this. It's also part of this. Actually, educational systems. You have goals. You have rules. You are in your personal educational system. Even business is educational system, and people grow in educational systems only. We're gonna talk about it in the future. So just want to put this right now. So let's go. Let's continue our investigation. What's we're gonna learn in the next part? The history and deep nature of game mechanics. Let's go. So in this chapter, I realized that okay, game mechanics are powerful. Game mechanics are everywhere. I got results from using gamification, game mechanics, and I started to be interested in why game mechanics are so powerful. Why, right? So they are everywhere, and why is they so powerful? So basically, I realized that game mechanics, they weren't invented; they were discovered like laws of physics, right? They're fundamental principles developed through millions of years of evolution. It's how our mind basically use game mechanics to survive, right? So we need to have a goal. We need to follow rules. In the history, lots of examples how people apply different rules, like generals who created different rules how to control army, won the battles, and get benefits, right? So it's how society form, how different religion, different like rules and tribes. It's all based on rules. Rules are very powerful in they help us to survive. Help our ancestors to survive, and helping us to survive. And right now, economic based on rules, and politics. It's how we apply these rules, how we use these rules. Right now it's a lot of attention on AI, but gamification actually is more powerful than AI. It's give us rules how we use AI, how to use it properly, and so on. So basically, the game mechanics embedded in how our psyche operates, direct link to brain structure and decision making. Status game mechanics, it's huge. And read an example about lobsters. It's creatures that lived like 300 millions of years already, and how they survive based on games and status game. They have also home, how they fight. It's very like status game. And like what status game mechanic? It's most ancient game mechanic. It's very it's give us status game mechanics, give us more energy. It's like it's huge to understand it. So they permit all aspects of life, not just games, but basic laws of human behavior. Yes, game mechanics is so powerful. Let's continue. Universe is a game system. Purpose of a universe principle. Purpose as a universal principle. Nature fundamental goals, right? Nature fundamental goals exist, right? So manifest in form, evolve. It's a nature fundamental goal, and life and nature follow rules at all levels. And the main from microbes to humans, and multi-level goal system mirrors game levels. For example, level 1, survival. We all have this goal to survive, and our the main rule in nature is you should live, but not for long, right? All creatures, all living organisms live for some time, then pass the knowledge and die. So this is rules, right? So it's lots of rules here, how our universe, how our planet works. It's Newton rules and so on. We have quantum theory rules. It's how this is the power of game mechanics. It's huge. And then we're gonna talk about the understanding the concept of reality. Wait for this. Level 2, comfort. And so basically comfort, right now, for example, you think your goal is not to survive, right? Because survival right now, it's not about food, right? And food and what it's when you what's the word, food and safety, right? Then after level first, your mind starts to think that your survival is your comfortable zone, to live in specific area, to have these different privileges and so on. This has become your survival, and your mind fight for this. That's why people don't want to lose this specific level of comfort. It's their survival. And then level 3, developing potential and influence in the world. Next, survival, right? So it's become important for you to kind of spread your knowledge and so on. So basically, universe operates like a perfectly tuned game with fixed parameters: speed of light, electron mass, gravity, unchanging game constants. If electron mass will be a little bit the same, a little bit different, it will be different reality, completely different. If any parameter changed, no stars, galaxies, or life would exist. Boom. Our existence results from perfect tuning of reality's game parameters. Let's continue. Natural level and reward system. Evolution uses levels mechanics. Young wolf learned basic hunting, beginner level. Adult wolf experienced hunter with advanced skills. Pack leader, highest level requiring proven strengths and strategy, right? So we also have status in animal world. Each level grants new opportunities. Same principles in all learning. Built-in reward system. Brain produces dopamine when achieving goals. Natural reward mechanic. Same principle used in games, social media, careers, economics, and so on. Survival mechanics purpose of self-realization, not just survival, right? So survival mechanics repurposed for self-realization. So basically, it's what I discover. It's evolution of basic survival. Now it's basically you want to survive and keep your comfortable zone. And then I discovered that rules, one of the oldest game mechanics, right? Rules structure everything. Pervade all life, religion, war, agriculture, laws, politics, economy, creativity. Everything is rules. If you don't believe in the power of rules, but nobody like when somebody cuts them in line, right? Rules are everywhere, and so powerful. People follow them even where they lost meaning. They're so powerful, and so this is one of the things that when I realized that the power behind game mechanics, I started to be more aware of them and started to be more, okay, I'm gonna use them to benefit my life, to benefit my growth. And actually, when I discovered later, it's a deep understanding is very important. Now, it's not about use game mechanics. When you have deep understanding, it actually works more powerful, it works better. And it's helped me to, in different ways. Where, for example, you see, you don't know when it's gonna kick in for you in your life. For example, in my, I started to use in business, how I built business. I built on concepts. So not just like, oh, I'm gonna do whatever. No, built on concepts, using game mechanics, using understanding the perfect system, creating this cohesive system of a game mechanics. And I just think what I can add. I just need to add something. I'm thinking creatively what I can add. If I can add animation, let's do it. So and because I know this, it's helped my company to survive and be in a very competitive market, and even get in the competitive market. Also, the game mechanics helped me to in self-education, and I discovered the Poros method, Poros Academy, and also, for example, when I was practicing meditation, I went to first time when this 10 days meditation retreat, and I saw the schedule. Oh, it's a game mechanics. I'm in a hero journey. I had the progress every time, because I have this understanding of game mechanics, of rules, and how to change rules. We're gonna talk about it. So it's very powerful. It's one of this biggest investigation of mine that I discovered that we're gonna go deeper into game mechanics. Evolution, nature, original game designer. Nature is an original game designer. Primary rule: strongest survivors and continue lineage. Yes, it's a primary rule. Strongest survives and contains lineage. Animals follow complex game rules for mating and survival. Different animals, different rules. Rules are everywhere. I saw in Netflix documentary. It's called Dancing with Birds or something like this. It's interesting how different birds have different rules, how they mate. It's very interesting. They use different strategies. It's very interesting how nature operates with different rules. So basically, key insights. It's understanding these deep mechanics give us powerful tools for personal development. It's not just personal development. They see it's nature, everything based on the game mechanics. And now, when you know this, you can apply them in your life with deep understanding. And when I realized this, it helped me to look deeper and really discovered something cool. I'm gonna show you in the next module. We can harness their natural power. Yes, it's already using in many different corporations, in different industries, but it could be improved, of course. But yes, but this is powerful. The one things how to could be improved. For example, we talk about that it's used in business and fitness. It could be improved in with just one of the aspects with deep understanding. Explain people. For example, if you explain your team how game mechanics works and why they're important for business, for mission's a game mechanic, and so basically educate people. It's basically improve effectiveness of game mechanics. I use game mechanics because I educated myself and I realized that they're huge and important. That's why I use them, right? It's the same in for kids, for employees, for teams to learn about this. It's very important. And for game developers, for example, I know that you just need to add game mechanics and see what's gonna happen and see this maybe something new gonna emerge, right? So for creating sales system, I showed how these ideas lead me to create this perfect sales system when whole elements working together. Yeah, so this is a main idea. And yeah, so basically this makes personal growth more effective and natural by working with our evolutionary programming. Yeah, so this is key insights for this module, and that's it. So now we know that game mechanics they are huge. It's a universal language of growth. There are lots of game mechanics here, right? So we can say that it's one of the if you in the movie the Matrix, you know, the green screen, like this green screen is basically game mechanics, and everything is basically here based on game mechanics, right? So it's and now you understand this. Now you see how game mechanics works. They are very powerful, and we're gonna go to our next level. I will see you in next module.